It's pumpkin season, and now I have discovered two great recipes. One is a dessert, one is a main course, and they are mind-blowing. The main course is like a ravioli, a mantı, but it's not from dough, it's from pumpkin. It's very light and it looks good, but it is 10 times better than even it looks. Secondly, the dessert is an inspiration from the Dubai chocolate, but it's a lighter, cheaper, and a very, very satisfying version. For the main course, we take the pumpkin and then with something round, if possible, or you can do it in squares, no worries. Cut it, and then through a mandoline, cut them in the second degree, which is not very thin, not very thick. In the middle, just put some goat cheese. Push the sides really well. For them to stick, you have to press it. The most important thing, the edges should not be wetted with the cheese. If it gets wet with the cheese, it won't stick. In a non-stick pan, put some olive oil, fry it on one side and the other side. It's very important that it's slightly brown. It caramelizes, and that caramelization taste increases the taste incredibly. On the other side, have a pesto sauce with a bit of olive oil. Dirty the plate with it and add the pumpkins and add a bit of pesto, and then it's ready. As you can see, it's incredibly simple, but it looks like a really expensive plate. If you have some pomegranate, you can also put, but it doesn't even need any other slightest taste. That I can assure you. Secondly, for the dessert, we are gonna have few layers and each layer needs a bit of attention. For the pumpkin, we put the pumpkin, a bit of sugar, 2 cloves, a bit of cinnamon, a stick would be much better, and then a little bit of water under the pressure cooker. In 12 minutes, it's gonna be ready. If you don't have a pressure cooker, it might take about 25-35 minutes max, but until the pumpkin really softens, it's gonna be ready. You might need a bit more water when it's not a pressure cooker. Watch it. We don't want it to be watery, we want it just for it to cook. When it's ready, smash it and let it cool down in a fine place. Another layer is the kadayıf. Slice the kadayıf in thin slices, fry it with a bit of butter slowly. If you fry it fast, some of them won't be cooking really well, while on the other side it's gonna brown, and we don't like that browning taste. So it has to be slow and you have to use a spoon all the time. At the last minute, add a spoonful of sugar. The sugar is gonna melt. This was my Burak's idea. It makes the kadayıf crunchier. And then also let it cool. When it comes to the third layer, you can use some kind of cheese or you can use cream. I've used 35% fat cream. Whip it really well. Add a spoonful of pistachio paste with a spoonful of whipped cream. We mix it on the side because I don't want it to kill the fluffiness of the whole cream. And then we put some more pistachios, if possible, to make it even greener and for a bit of crunch. Then the third layer is ready. Throw it in the refrigerator for it to cool. When it's cooler, it's better. And for the top layer, we melt about 60 grams of chocolate and add a bit more cream to the chocolate so that it becomes like a ganache. When the chocolate cools down, it doesn't harden like chocolate bar. That's why we mix the cream with the chocolate. You can do this in a big mold or you can do it in a small mold, as you decide. The measures that I've given is for the 3 small molds or 1 big mold. It all works. For the bottom layer, we put a bit of kadayıf. For the second layer, for 3 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, I add 7 tablespoons of kadayıf. And then on top, the cream and the pistachios. And on top, the chocolate. Eat it immediately if you can, because the longer the kadayıf and the pumpkin stays together, the crunchiness decreases. Open it and then cut it in slices, or just, let everyone get the spoon, serve it however you like. And it is so gorgeous. I have eaten so many different pumpkin desserts in my life, but like this, a bit of cinnamon stick and the clove works as miracles. It's very plain, but incredibly tasty. Like many people, this Mr. Inan in front of me normally doesn't eat that pumpkin desserts, normally that everyone does in Turkey, but love this. So please have a try. Both of these recipes made me so very happy. So I wanted to share them as soon as possible. We have discovered them today and probably you're gonna have this video by the end of this week. So looking forward to your ideas. If you've enjoyed the recipe, if you make it, please share it. Refika@Refika'nın mutfağı is my email. I'm waiting for emails, guys, from you. If you make the recipe, you'll really make me happy. Lots of love. Take care.